Hello everyone, this is Amit. In this video, we'll learn how you can remove every odd or even line in a given text file or a CSV file. We'll be using Notepad++ and we'll use a regular expression to do this in just one shot. But if you don't want to use Notepad++, the regular expression should stand for any other text editor. Uh, and so we'll take a look at number of example. In the first example, we'll try to remove every odd line. We'll also look at a CSV file and we will try to remove every even line in that CSV file. Now, if you're working on Excel, you can save your data file as a CSV and then bring it on Notepad++, remove the odd or even lines, and then take it back to your Excel file, right? We will also extend this regular expression so that you can basically, not only are limited to odd or even, but you can even, let's say, keep every third line or every fourth line and so on. And finally, we'll also spend a little bit of time on Linux files, the files that are generated on Linux, because that handles the end of the line, which are carriage return and line feed in different ways. And so we'll make sure that we handle those. So if you have a file, something like that, then your regular expression should still work. And so here is the example that we are going to look. Here I have a text file, and I would either want to keep either odd lines or even lines. So odd lines are all fruits and even lines are vegetables, right? Then we'll look at the CSV file and then we'll try to keep every third line, okay? And so, as I said, we'll be using Notepad++. If you don't have that, just download and install. It's a free and open source software, a text editor, which is very powerful. And I have a lot of playlists if you would like to learn more about Notepad++. All right. So once you have that, let's go and try to actually remove every odd line. So in order to search for that, we'll do Control H, which is find and replace. So okay. All right. And so you can even do Control F, which is fine, but we are going to find and replace. And so we are going to use a regular expression. And in order to use that, you need to make sure that your search mode is set to regular expression. Usually it is set to normal. So in that case, it won't work. So make sure you change it to regular expression. And then we'll slowly build our regular expression. And so we'll start with a dot, which means any character. And then we'll just add plus, which means any character any number of times. And so if you want to test it, we'll just click find next. And you can see it is actually selecting every single line, right? All right. So the next thing we need to select is the end of line character. So text editors have number of invisible characters, and one of them is actually end of line character. That is the one that actually tells text editor to break line break, right? For example, fruit and vegetable is on the next line. And so we need to account for that. And so usually if you actually go to show symbol right here, actually this icon, it actually shows you what kind of end of line characters are there in this file. So CR and LF. So CR stands for carriage written and LF stands for line feed. And so it basically has a carriage written and line feed. Okay. So I'm going to remove this character, these invisible characters. So we have to account for that. So for carriage written is /R and for line feed is /N. Okay. So I'm going to click find next. And what you notice is actually it's selecting the text, but also selecting just one more step, one more thing, which is basically the end of line character. All right. So in order to keep every odd line, we have to actually currently we are only selecting one line, so we need to select two line and then keep only the second one, right? And so we are going to use a parenthesis, and then again we are going to use dot plus. So now we are actually going to the next line, and in fact if I click find next and I need to close the parenthesis, you will be able to see that actually I am selecting two lines now. Now one thing you notice, the first line has this extra character, the second doesn't, so we need to account for that again. And so I'm going to go inside and then I'm going to say /R/N. Okay, so now if I do find, I'm selecting two lines at a time. Now this parenthesis is called a reference, I believe, a back reference, and basically it means that whatever is selected between these two parentheses is you can replace it with. And so this is our first parenthesis, so it can be replaced by /1. If you have another one, for example, using your regular expression, then you can do /2 and onwards. By the way, if you would like to learn more about regular expression, check out some of the playlists I have on my channel in which I go through many of these tips. And you can also look up online if you would like to learn more about regular expression. It is extremely powerful text editor tool. All right. And so we build our regular expression, and then we are going to replace it with the second one. So what is going to happen is it'll say fruit and vegetables. It will only bring vegetables. Okay. And so let's try. I'll go and put my cursor right at the beginning, and then I'm going to select find, right? And then I'm going to click replace. So as soon as I do that, you will see that it will only select vegetables and it'll remove the fruit, right? And then again, same thing, right? Oops. Actually, we finish right here. We need to come here, find next, replace, and then here and replace. Okay, so what's going on here is it's not able to pick this. Well, tomatoes are considered both fruit and vegetables, so I was just being tricky here. But what happened is there is no, if I go and click on this, there is no carriage written here, you can see, right? And so that's why it's not picking the last part. And so here, actually, we can create another parenthesis. We are going to use a vertical slash or vertical bar, actually, and it's usually right above the right hand side enter key. And so I'm going to actually go here and then shift and vertical bar, and then I'm going to put a $sign there. Okay, and then end bracket. Okay, so what did I just do here? So what I'm saying here is select the line carriage return and line feed, or the $sign means the end of line. So because this last character does not have carriage return and line feed, it is going to still select because we are saying, well, basically this vertical bar means or, right? If you think of it. And so if I go here, if I click find next, now you can see it is selecting. If I click replace, it will only replace with 1, right? And I'm going to remove this. All right. And so again, what we just did is we created a regular expression which will skip all the odd lines. So if I go Control Z, and if I bring back to how it was, oops, and this time instead of going one by one, I'm going to click replace all. Okay, so I should be able to remove all the fruits, right? So you can see vegetables, potato, onion, cucumber, tomato, etc. All right, so this is how you, and let's do Control Z. So this is how you remove the odd number. Now, let's say you want to remove every even number. So if you want just fruits, we can still do the same method. So I'm going to build my regular expression, but this time I want to 1, 3, 5, and so on, right? So I want to remove every even number. So vegetables, so 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay. So if I want to build that, I'm going to just start with a bracket, if you remember, then dot plus, and then I'm going to do another parenthesis /r/n. In fact, we don't need a /r/n, right? End of parenthesis, and then dot plus /r/n. Let's go ahead and check this. So if I go here, you can see I'm able to select. The only reason why it's not selecting the last one is because I need another parenthesis here, and then I'll have a vertical bar, and I'll put a $sign and end of parenthesis. So let's try this. So now you can see it is selecting 2 lines, but this time instead of removing the first one, we are going to only keep, let me rephrase that. So this time we are only going to keep the first part, which is this. You may need to rewind this multiple times just to understand if you're not familiar with the regular expression. So in this case, we want to keep only the first reference, which is fruits, apples, banana, and so on. Okay, we don't want the second one. All right, so let's see if it actually works. So I'll go here and I'll go replace, 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 and replace, and replace. So you can see this time I only kept all the fruits and was able to get rid of all the vegetables. Right, let's do it again. And I'm going to use replace all this time just to do it in one shot. Right, so that works. So that's great that we were able to actually use uh, regular expression to remove either every odd line or every even line. So let's go and open this CSV file. So I have a test.csv. By the way, as I said, if you have an Excel file, you can actually open a CSV file. So this is the same file that I have it in Excel. And if you have, let's say, XLSX or other file format, you can actually save as a CSV file and then bring it into your Notepad++ and so on. Okay, so this is our CSV file. A CSV stands for comma separated value. So all it is just a number, numbers, separated by comma, right? And so, in fact, we already have this, so we can use our existing regular expression to test this out. So if I want to remove every even line, which we just did previously, I can actually click and replace all. Now, in this case, my first column is 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 50. And so by making that, I would be able to test whether it actually worked or not. So if I want to remove every even line, I should only have all the odd numbers. So 1, 3, 5, and so on. So let's go ahead, keep the same regular expression, replace all. And look at this. The first column, if you notice, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and so on. So it is able to get rid of all the even lines, right? Let's do Control Z to undo. If we want to use the other way, if we want to remove all the odd lines, Notepad++ keeps all the previously used regular expression or search keywords, and so I can go back to my previous search keyword, and then this time I would be able to remove all the odd numbers. And so if this works, then I should have 2, 4, 6, 8 on and so on, right? So I'm going to replace all to test it out, and you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and onwards. So I was able to get rid of all the odd lines and you can see, by the way, if you notice, it's not just removing the first part, it's removing the entire line, right? For example, this line, and so on. So if I do replace all, you will see that all those lines are gone, right? Okay, so let's try one more, and this is every third line, right? So we can extend this to select every third line or every fourth line and so on. Okay, so in order to do that, all we have to do is we have to add another line here. So I'll keep this because this actually signifies the first line. So if I copy, Control C, and paste it here again, and if I do find, so it says it cannot find a text. So what just happened, right? Everything looked fine. And so as usual, we can always look at the symbols. So let's click on the show symbol. And here is that uh, scenario that I talked about files from Linux. So usually the Windows, whenever it creates file, it always adds carriage return and line feed, which is C, R, and LF, if you remember earlier that we talked about. But here is just a line feed. And so one way to solve this is it's looking for carriage return, which is /R, which in our case doesn't have it. So that's why it says, well, I cannot find your regular expression. So one thing I can do is I can remove these and just keep /n, which is for line feed, and you will see that it will work, right? So if I only have line feed, and if I go, you can see it is selecting 3 at a time, right? Now, if you have a lot of files and you're not sure about this line feed carriage return, handling, because it can be a little confusing. Notepad++ comes with a way to overcome that. And so if I go back, instead of using /R and /n, I can just simply use /R. When we use this, Notepad++ understand that you're looking for carriage return or line feed or carriage return, and it will handle all those cases for you. And so you don't need to worry about what your file contains. So again, I'll go and instead of /R/n, I just do /R. Now, the reason why I went through those two earlier on was so that we can understand what those these character means. So /r is for carriage return, /n is for line feed, and so on, right? But from now on, you can simply use /uppercase R to do that. All right. So again, let's go to find, and I'm going to remove the symbols. So you can see it is able to find all the lines, right? And so if I want every third line, which will be 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 onwards, right? A table of 3 basically. Then I have selected this is my first line, not this, and then this is my second line, and then this is my third line, right? And so I can just use a /1 to replace 3 lines with the third line. And so if I do replace all, you'll be able to see 3, 6, 9, 12 onwards. Now the last one didn't work because it cannot find that, but because after 49 is 52, right? And so it capped that because it didn't match that. So you can remove this, but you can see that you can extend this to any number of lines. So for example, if I want every fourth line, and I copy this, paste it here, and then now I'll have 4, 8, 6 onwards, right? So if I do replace all, you can see 4, 8, 12, 16. Now in this case, I just have just a one number, but this would be applicable to any any number of length in that line. It will always keep the 4th, 8th, 12th lines and so on. So I know we did a lot of regular expression in this particular video, but I hope by doing number of examples, you would be able to understand how you can actually remove every odd or even line in a file or Excel or CSV. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the like button. And if you like the content of this channel, then please consider subscribing to my channel. All right. Thank you very much.